The Los Angeles Clippers are trying to acquire Lonzo Ball. Let's get into how they can get this done. As we all know, the Los Angeles Clippers acquired Kawhi Leonard and Paul George in order to try to win a championship. Last season in the bubble, it was a catastrophic collapse for the Clippers, up 3-1 in the NBA bubble against the Denver Nuggets. After that, the Clippers realized that they had to make some changes, and they did. After that catastrophic collapse, the Clippers fired their head coach Doc Rivers and let go of Montrezl Harrell. The Clippers realized that they needed to get better defensively, especially at the center position, so they brought in Serge Ibaka, who's a great shot blocker for them. And they also brought in scoring to make up for the loss of Montrezl Harrell by picking up young guys like Luke Kennard and also a veteran like Nick Batum. So far this season, the Clippers do look a lot better than they did in last season's playoffs, but they also did look really good in last regular season. The Clippers do lack point guard play, and they really need a guy who can get in and set up the offense well. Currently at point guard, they have guys like Patrick Beverley and Reggie Jackson, but Patrick Beverley is more of a defender than anything else, and Reggie Jackson is more of a scoring guard than a guy who can set up his teammates. Since what happened last season in the NBA bubble with the Clippers really have to prove this season that they can play really well in the playoffs, and Kawhi Leonard and Paul George could play well together. The Clippers realized that they need to get point guard help, and they realized that even since last season. Last season, they were able to get point guard help in Reggie Jackson, who they still do have, but he's not really a guy that can set up the offense. He's more of just a scoring guard. Now, there have been reports today that the Clippers are looking to try to acquire Lonzo Ball, which would be a huge help for them. As I said earlier, the Clippers are in desperate need of real point guard play and someone who could really get the ball to Paul George and Kawhi Leonard in the right spots. And a guy like Lonzo Ball is absolutely perfect for what they do. Lonzo's known for being extremely unselfish and getting the ball out quickly to open shooters, as well as being really prolific in the pick and roll offense while kicking to open three-point shooters or kicking to the rolling man or just scoring himself. Lonzo's also an excellent shooter, so if they would need to trade a guy like Patrick Beverley in order to get Lonzo, he would make up for his defense. Now, in order for the Clippers to acquire Lonzo Ball, I think that would be a little tricky. Last season in the NBA bubble, Lonzo Ball had the worst stretch of his career, lowering his trade value significantly, but so far this season, Lonzo's been playing out of his mind and his trade value is pretty high right now. Lonzo is on the last season of his rookie deal and will need to get re-signed, which would help the Clippers in order to not trade as much for him as if he were on a longer contract. Luckily for the Clippers, the Pelicans have a lot of guys on the book, so I'm not even sure if they would be able to re-sign Lonzo Ball in the offseason. But so do the Clippers, so if the Clippers were to trade for Lonzo Ball, I feel like it would just be a one-year thing. It's tough to tell what the trade value for Lonzo Ball is due to all those reasons, but I think something like Luke Kennard, Patrick Beverley, and maybe 2 first-round picks might get the deal done. The Clippers already traded a bunch of their first-round picks, so it would have to be pretty late, like 2026 or 2027. But I don't think the Pelicans would be able to re-sign Lonzo Ball anyway, so if they were able to flip Lonzo for 2 first-round picks and a nice young guy like Luke Kennard, that would be pretty good for them as well. The Pelicans also have a logjam at the point guard position. They have Lonzo Ball as well as Eric Bledsoe and Kira Lewis, who's a rookie they just drafted this offseason, and they want to get him more playing time. The fact that the Pelicans drafted Kira Lewis tells me that they don't mind splitting with Lonzo Ball, but the way Lonzo Ball is playing this season, I feel like it's kind of tough for me to see them trading him, at least at the trade deadline. But I guess their hands are tied because they have a lot of point guards, as I said, and they have a lot of guys on the books like Steven Adams, Brandon Ingram. They're gonna have to pay Zion Williamson soon. Anything can happen, of course, and Lonzo Ball could get traded to the Clippers, whatever team at the deadline, but I think a more likely scenario would be Lonzo Ball getting traded as a sign-and trade in the offseason. This season, Lonzo Ball has proven that he's improved his game significantly, especially his jump shot, so I think during the offseason he's going to get a pretty big contract, honestly. Lonzo's such a good player, he really fits with any team. He's a great facilitator, as well as he improved his jump shot so significantly that he would honestly just fit with about any team in the NBA just due to that. So I really do think there's a chance, I guess, that Lonzo could get traded to the Clippers at the trade deadline, but more likely I really do think that he's going to be put in a sign-and trade and go to another team. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think Lonzo Ball would get traded to the Clippers, or do you think it would even make sense, or do you agree with me and think that it probably wouldn't happen? But anyways guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot, and until next time, peace out guys.